Approximately 700 cane farmers were in attendance at the meeting on Saturday, along with leaders from 18 branches of the B.S.C.F.A. It got underway at around 10 a.m., and one of the first speakers was Coye, the attorney who has been advising the B.S.C.F.A. since the serious discussion on bagasse first started last year. He set the stage for the tone of the session and sent the message which has been the B.S.C.F.A.'s rallying cry.
If you stay united, the country will unite with you. The government will have no choice but to stand with you and to work for you. ASR is not your friend. McLachlan is not your friend. They are not your savior. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. McLachlan is trying to prove himself to his bosses. He only got this job 2 months ago. ASR wants to make an example of you to the world. Challenge us and we will bury you. What example will you be? One that stood up together and demanded what is right and fair, or one that was divided, conquered, chewed, and spit out?
It is not an easy decision for farmers to make. For many of them, their very survival hinges on a successful crop. They are desperate to get their product to the mill. Already faced with backbreaking labor and weather and road conditions which make harvest and delivery difficult, they cannot afford any delay in the crop. But even faced with this dilemma, the farmers have dug deep and are standing together against BSI.
Les pido desde el fondo de mi corazón que por favor apoyen esto. No, yo quiero zafra porque me urge. Todos queremos dinero para la Pascua, queremos estar con la familia alegres, pero no vamos a hacer que un cubano y un gringo los tome el pelo. Vamos a mostrarle que nosotros tenemos la llave para mandar unidos.
Hay una cadena. Podemos tomar una cadena de entrega de caña, como lo hacían antes. Esa cadena va a servir para jalar a ese camión que está atascado en el lodo. La cadena es buena, fuertísima, tiene vigor. Pero ¿qué pasa? Si un eslabón de esa cadena se va al diablo, esa cadena ya no sirve para nada.
Nosotros como cañeros estamos dispuestos, cuando BSI diga la portada está abierta, metamos nuestra caña, pero que haya el interim agreement.
There were 3 resolutions passed unanimously on Saturday, but the third is the most important and is the position of the cane farmers from which they will not budge.
That an independent expert be recruited to evaluate the 2 formulas for the payment of bagasse, and also to consider the request of the B.S.C.F.A. where it says that it is determined to start the crop, but that an interim agreement is signed.
Necesitamos tomar otro camino para que nos escuchen. BSI no quiere, la asociación no puede, el gobierno ya dijo, háganlo entre ustedes dos, yo no me meto, entonces no vamos a ir adelante. No hay para dónde ir. Yo creo que nosotros necesitamos una demostración. Nosotros necesitamos ir como cañeros, pero todos, a mostrarle al gobierno que necesitamos que él nos ayude contra the BSI.
There has been much criticism of the Sugar Industry Control Board, government's regulating body in the industry, which has been content to maintain a hands-off position. The B.S.C.F.A. appealed to that body for intervention once, but got no response. And now they are calling out again. With so much at stake in a volatile but invaluable industry, the SICB has had no choice but to answer, although reluctantly it seems.
I assured the General Assembly that the SICB will be meeting shortly. We had set the 25th of November to have this meeting to consider those requests that have been made and so move on from there. The negotiations have come to a point where it seems both entities are sticking on to their positions, and now we will look at that particular issue of their request for an independent expert to come and look at the formulas that have been proposed.
The crop should tentatively start in the first week of December. BSI has set November 28th as the deadline for farmers to sign on. So the SICB's lukewarm assurance to hold a meeting on the 25th wasn't good enough. The farmers then passed a motion giving the SICB 5 days to meet and break the impasse, or else.
The farmers are looking forward into a 5 days period that things be solved, and that means it's Monday to Friday. And from thereafter, then things need to be moved to be shown that things are going on. And why is it that the farmers are asking for that to happen? Because we need intervention of the government to resolve the situation.
If we start the crop without an interim agreement, if that decision is not made, then it will proceed with a big public social demonstration to have all parties understand the gravity and the need to resolve this issue before the end of this month.
The best thing is to get BSI to agree to accept the interim agreement to start our crop. We are committed, as we say, the association, the membership, the General Assembly, committed that we are ready. We are ready to start.
All 18 branch leaders, theoretically representing all 5,500 farmers, committed to the support of the association, which, on the face of it, seems the death knell to BSI's move to off the middleman, B.S.C.F.A.
Today has proved that the agreement that BSI has put forward has come to an end. Today, the farmers had already passed a motion that they are prepared to start a crop with the interim agreement. So that means that what BSI has put forward has come to a dead today. So the voice of these people that were here today is a strong voice, and the motions and resolutions that were passed needed to be heard, and we will act based on those resolutions.
Notably, there were reports last week that about 1,200 farmers under the Corozal Sugarcane Producers Association had agreed to sign on to BSI's new contract. That never materialized, and now the B.S.C.F.A. says those farmers are fully on board with the association. Mike Rudon for